2023 GR86 got about 12k miles, manufacture date 5/23. Absolutely did not expect to find this in this new of a car. Why don't we go take a look? With a manufacture date of 5/23, this is just about the cutoff. I think it was 6/23 that the factory started to implement the lighter gray RTV and less of it. This might not have made the cutoff. This engine might have been in the in-between phase, being that it was the revised light gray RTV, but an excessive amount applied. Did not expect much, as this car has a relatively new manufacture date, but ta-da! Oh my goodness. At first glance, it looked like slugs were reproducing in there. Absolutely disgusting. And this one was actually pretty nostalgic for me, as early 22s, you guys may have seen all the RTV migrates over to that left side where we can't really see in the strainer. And I was constantly just digging out RTV out of that left side. Nostalgic again because it's been so long since I've had to take so much effort to dig so much RTV out of the oil strainer. Although this isn't really something you want to be happy or nostalgic about. Why don't we see all the stuff we pulled out? Lots of fun shapes and sizes in this one. Plenty of the dangerous black strings of RTV from the cam carriers. And then just lots of these like little bits. Again, the most dangerous part, as these can absolutely get sucked through the strainer. I think it was one of these cam carrier pieces that were about to go through the strainer, and I really had to work to basically untrap and dig this guy free of the oil strainer grates. This one's kind of interesting, not only because it looks like a small Arbok, but you can tell it got applied around something round by that shape in there, and then the fact that it made a RTV bead on the other side. I'm curious what part of the engine that came from. Dark gray, so anywhere from the front timing cover, upper oil pan, those are probably the two most likely areas. As with the previous two oil strainer cleanings, we are also using the oil pan gasket from Battle Garage RS. At the time of making this video, the oil pan gasket is sold out, but fear not, Rev 2 is actually in production, which should be a improved version. So stay tuned for that announcement when Rev 2 of the FA20/FA24 oil pan gasket is coming out from BGRS. And that's right, the FA20 and the FA24 use the same oil pan gasket. So all the first gen and second gen guys can finally get rid of that bullshit over applied silicone and have a real gasket in there, like it should have been from the factory. We always try to do a RTV inspection while we do the oil pan drops. In this instance, a clean oil filter and also nothing in the old oil that we drained out. Not so accurate with the car having 12,000 miles. That's exactly why I recommend customers do the RTV inspection on the first two oil changes. So about 1,000 miles and then 6,000 miles after that. The first two oil changes are going to be the most accurate for the RTV inspection. Any oil change after that, we've typically just seen clean filters and clean oil. The exception is if let's say you have 10 or 20,000 miles and there's RTV in the oil, there's probably a strong correlation that your engine has an excess RTV problem if we're seeing RTV in the oil at this late in the game.